Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. Well, Joe Biden's sinking presidency suffered two more major defeats today. First, the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 against the administration mandate that private businesses must mandate vaccines. Second, Senator Kyrsten Sinema repeated on the floor of the Senate roughly 1 hour before President Biden's meeting with the Senate Democratic Conference. She repeated her longstanding opposition to any changes in the legislative filibuster. That effectively rules out the Biden election takeover bill. So then, Save America, Kill the Bill. Senators Manchin and Sinema have refused to back down in their opposition to Biden's big government socialist bill. As his political agenda falls apart, the president has become more vitriolic and insulting in various speeches. Virtually every sensible person in politics is attacking Biden's poisonous speech yesterday in Atlanta, and the fallout from those poisonous words continues to spread today. Then, on the Hill today, he threw another temper tantrum about losing on the election takeover bill, but also adding this bizarre screeching about who counts the votes. Listen to this.
We missed this time. We missed this time. And the state legislative bodies continue to change the law, not as to who can vote, but who gets to count the vote. Count the vote. Count the vote. It's about election subversion.
Jeez. By the by, the answer to who counts the votes is the gang of Democrats who run the election day operations throughout America's big cities. They're the vote counters, not Republicans. And let's not forget Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, who spent $450 million illegally placing his left-wing minions into election operations throughout the country, thereby bending every decision against Trump and the Republicans. Meanwhile, even Biden's State Department is acknowledging this week's talks with Vladimir Putin and his threatened invasion of the Ukraine have gone nowhere. I don't know why they're still talking. The White House should have imposed across-the-board sanctions on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline and Russian banks and Russian natural resources and oligarchs. And we should be publicly, visibly selling lethal weapons to our Ukrainian allies. But none of this is happening. Now, Ted Cruz's amendment to restore the Nord Stream 2 sanctions, which were a gift to Putin in the first place and should never have happened, it looks like Mr. Cruz is going to be defeated on the Senate floor, mostly by Democrats. In fact, entirely by Democrats. We'll have a final count on that in just a moment. Of course, so much of this stems from the catastrophic withdrawal in Afghanistan, which has emboldened Putin in the Ukraine and Chinese President Xi in Taiwan. Then we had another bad inflation number today, producer prices rising almost 10% for the year, following yesterday's 7% jump in the CPI. Real wages are falling while prices are spiking. We're talking gasoline and grocery prices, among many other things, all of which contributes to Mr. Biden's remarkable unpopularity. His polls continue sharply downward. There is no change in sight. If he were a smart, good political operator, like, for example, Bill Clinton 25 years ago, then Mr. Biden would start firing his left-wing woke senior staff and shift back towards the middle ground, where voters thought he'd land in the first place. But no, Biden wants to double down and triple down and throw temper tantrums and hissy fits, thereby blaming everyone and everything on the planet except his own tin-ear politics. All right, fine. Have it your way, Mr. President. I say save the bill. I say save America, kill the bill. Save America, kill the bill. And I say that our conservative strategy has been working because the center-right voters in this country agree with my side of the aisle. But you know me, ever the optimist. Surely the cavalry is coming to rescue us. And for Mr. Biden's sake, I will end the riff on a somewhat lighter note by playing one of my favorite songs by one of my favorite singers, the great, iconic, legendary Roy Orbison, who wasn't really political. But then again, maybe he knew something.